Hello, this is Steve Sessions, CEO of the Sessions Group. We're here at World Headquarters, and we've got a great gentleman today, Wade Anderson, who's the Vice President of Gobble Hayes Partners, who are environmental consultants. We're going to talk in this series three things. Number one, indoor air quality, two, mold, and three, asbestos. So today, okay, let's talk about indoor air quality. Now, this is a big issue, and so, in a nutshell, what do we need to know about it?
Well, Steve, indoor air quality is typically it's a study of the components in the air and how they impact the building occupants. It can be anywhere from asbestos, lead, mold, radon, some of the big hitters.
Interesting.
And then the other things that impact the air quality in a building is your HVAC system, your heating, ventilating, air conditioning, where we have too low of humidity is a big problem in Colorado, or not enough air exchange from the outside, so our carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide levels, that sort of thing.
Interesting. So how common is it to have an indoor air quality issue in buildings?
The World Health Organization states that 30% of all commercial buildings have a indoor air quality problem, and that's been substantiated by other health organizations as well.
That's huge. 30%.
Mm-hmm.
Who'd have thought?
Yep,
Who'd have thought? So that's a pretty serious problem.
it is. Again, it can range anywhere from building occupants having issues like runny noses, maybe coughing, headaches, things like that. And of course, people that some people will try to use indoor air quality as an issue too, though, that may or may not have an indoor air quality. So there's a reason to have it tested, to have your tested.
So it's more than a property manager just issuing out Kleenex or cough drops to a tenant that has it. Is that the way to handle it, or I'm just being facetious?
Yes. Again, if you have a real issue, somebody that has been a tenant, been there for a while, and all of a sudden is saying that when they come to work they feel nausea, they have again the running nose, the cough, or eye problems, that sort of thing. You may have an indoor air quality issue, and it certainly should be checked.
Yeah, so those are really the signs that we should. So we really do need to know exactly, or listen very carefully to our tenants.
Correct.
By regular inspection, going in there, visiting with the tenants, and seeing if they're having any issues and concerns, because oftentimes it will be as a result of some type of indoor air quality. I know, for example, when we have built out space on a full floor, the tenants are in there, they've experienced some issues. Do you want to address that briefly?
Sure. Immediately following renovation, certain building materials will off-gas. Carpets and paint and even new ceiling tiles are the components in the HVAC system itself. And so some people are more sensitive to those things, and so really none of that should just be cast aside as not being a problem, because it certainly can be to that person. And building owners will start, or building occupants, the tenants, the employers, if they start noticing a lot of people calling in sick or anything like that, of course that could impact their bottom line.
Interesting. So, all right, what do we do? What should an owner and a property manager do to address this issue?
Well, I think a good rule of thumb is that the property manager should walk that property at least twice a year, semi-annually, and just look for things like signs of water staining on ceilings, water stains on walls, things like that. Again, listen to the tenants, and if they are complaining about more than usual, having colds or histamine reactions, again, the runny nose and things like that, I think that should be looked at. And if there isn't an obvious problem, an obvious water stain or something like that, then certainly give one of us a call, and then an inspection by a professional, and followed up by air sampling and or just inspections of the HVAC equipment can even solve the problem sometimes.
So these issues have to be addressed. It was really interesting that Wade was telling me that Steve McQueen, he died of some type of an issue. You might highlight that really quick. And also Merlin Olsen, who I met before. Great football player.
Yeah.
And so that's
Steve McQueen actually died from mesothelioma, which is an asbestos-related disease. And it goes. The story is that he actually worked in ships when he was in the shipyards when he was a young man, and had some exposure there to asbestos. And then also in his acting career, wearing the the acting career, they used to use chrysotile asbestos in snow scenes because the asbestos wouldn't burn, and with all the hot lamps and things like that. Yeah, and then to make matters even worse, when he got into racing, then he was wearing the asbestos masks and things like that. Plus, he was a smoker, so those things go together to team up on
Wow.
him.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
right. How about Merlin Olsen? How did he? This was.
Well, on Merlin Olsen, it's a little different story there. They don't believe that he was exposed to asbestos occupationally. That his exposure probably came when he was a child, and his father worked in with asbestos, and of course bringing it home on his clothes and being next to his mom or whatever in the laundry room, separating out the clothes and that sort of thing, and got an exposure from that. So again, with asbestos, it's not always heavy doses. It can be sometimes it can be small exposures that can produce a disease.
Wow. Well, this has been great. So stay tuned. And this is great information. And so I hope you've enjoyed it. And don't hesitate to leave your a question or shoot us an email or call us, and we'll be most responsive. So again, Wade, thanks so much for your time today, and have a great day.